Fuck it. I don't have an intro made, so let's just do some wannabe gangster shit real quick. Fuck it. Let's go.
Welcome to Nahh B, covering sports of all sorts. If there's any breaking news, you know we got the report. Our one and only goal is to make this your podcast resort. Get you your favorite team updates, both on and off of the court. Breaking down everything, NFL, NBA, MMA. Not much a soccer fan, but might even cover Team USA. Is KD leaving Golden State? Is Jordan really the GOAT? Is LeBron comfortable in LA? Will keep the team afloat? If GSP fights Khabib, will he fight him toe to toe? And a Wilder Fury rematch, who's always gonna go? We'll cover everything and anything you wanna know. Whatever it may be, we'll break it all down on the show.
Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to Nahh B Podcast. I am your host, Nahh B. It's going to be a quick episode, just a quick recap and review episode for UFC 242 that just happened this past Saturday, September 7th. Today is September 14th. It's been a whole week since the event, and yeah, it's been a little bit since I posted, so I just wanted to get something out for you guys. And of course, before we get started though, I want to give a quick shout out to my 4 sponsors, starting with Champs Boxing Club. It is my local boxing gym located in Danbury, Connecticut at 128 East Liberty Street. If you are local or even nearby and looking for a new gym to train at, go by, look for AJ, tell him I sent you, and he'll get you all set up and take great care of you. Amazing gym, great environment, great trainers, great equipment, nothing more you could ask for, you know what I mean? Go there, check it out, give it a shot, and see how you like it. Next up, my boy Smokey Hash. He is the producer of some CBD products. If you are not familiar with CBD, I suggest you look into it and look up all the great benefits from it. For me in general, it helps with depression and anxiety, and it's a great recovery method for after very hard and rigorous workouts. Search him up on Instagram at Smokey Hash LLC. Shoot him a message and tell him I sent you, and he'll take great care of you as well. Next up, my local sports bar and restaurant, TK's American Cafe. It's my go-to spot. Amazing food, great happy hour deals, located in Danbury, Connecticut on White Street. I can't remember the exact number, but Danbury, Connecticut on White Street. Amazing food, arguably the best wings in Danbury and arguably the best wings in Connecticut. You know, we never know, it could be the best wings in the motherfucking world. How we gonna figure that shit out? Yeah, shout out to them, my go-to spot, and that ain't gonna change anytime soon. Next up, my latest sponsor, my nerdy neighbor. They are a electronic repair shop located down in Mississippi. I'm up in Connecticut, they're down in Mississippi, but they offer a service where you can send down your fucked up equipment. They'll fix it back up and send it right back to you. You can search them up on Instagram at mynerdyneighbor, or you can go on their websites, which is www.mynerdyneighbor.net. Shoot them a message, tell them I sent you, and they'll take great care of you as well. I gotta think of something new to say for all 4. Oh man, I can't do that. That sounds horrible. But all right, now that we got the sponsors all done and taken care of, let's get into the nitty gritty, which was UFC 242. And the event wasn't spectacular or anything like that. It was alright. The main event was Khabib Nurmagomedov taking on Dustin the Diamond Poirier. The co-main events was Edson Barboza taking on Paul Felder. Before that, it was a lightweight bout between Islam Makhachev taking on Davi Ramos. And before that was a heavyweight bout between Curtis Blades taking on Shamil Abdurakhimov. And to start off the main card was another lightweight bout between Mirbek Tozminov taking on Carlos Diego Ferreira. I did not do any breakdowns for the prelims, so we're just gonna get right into the main card and just talk about the fights that happened. Starting with the lightweight bout between Mirbek Tozminov taking on Carlos Diego Ferreira. In my preview and breakdown episode, I actually picked Mirbek Tozminov to win that fight, and solidly. I thought he was going to, win it significantly, and that was not the fucking case. Diego Ferreira came out with fucking a completely different mindset than he has been his last couple fights, and fought very technical and very tactical, and solidly won this fight himself by unanimous decision. Fucking Mirbach Tasmanov damn near got tired, and like right in the beginning of the second round, and once Diego Ferreira saw that and started taking the shots and saw that he could, Mirbach had nothing behind those fucking shots, that was it. And that's when Diego started picking him apart from then on and started landing anything he wanted. And any single time Tasmanov would throw, it was just one heavy shot, and usually he would fucking miss. Diego did a great job beating up the body and just picking his shots and, throwing high volume too. And Tasmanov had no fucking idea what the fuck to do with that shit, and just completely got outclassed and just got out fucking schooled this fight. Not out schooled, but completely got schooled this fucking fight. But yeah, it was a fucking clinic. It was great to see. Easily Carlos Diego Ferreira's biggest win in his career so far, because he was a big underdog this fight, and yeah, he proved my ass fucking wrong. But yeah, Diego Ferreira, congrats to you, won that by unanimous decision, and yeah, can't wait to see who he fights next. But Tasmanov, that motherfucker, he needs to work on that cardio, because you just can't rely on big shots every fucking fight, you know what I mean? He's had some great knockouts, some great finishes, but when he starts fighting the elite of the elite and keeps going forward, a lot of them have great fucking cardio, and this could just keep happening more times than none if he doesn't fucking work on that shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was that fight. The next fight was a heavyweight bout between Curtis Blades taking on Shamil Abdurakhimov. Pretty much what I said, what happened, and Curtis Blades is a fucking beast, and he just completely demolished Shamil, took him down over and over, and when he got on top, he just did fucking damage. And like I said in my preview and breakdown episode, that's what he had to do, and that's what he's very good at, is taking the opponent down, just completely neutralizing the opponent on the ground, not letting him get back up, and just land heavy monster shots on the fucking ground. And that's what he did, and he won by TKO, I believe, in round 2, with heavy fucking ground shots. He took him down, got full mount, and kind of like how he beat Overeem with the fucking elbows and shit. He got on top and just fucking rained those fucking shots down, and the ref came in and stopped it. Right before the ref stopped it, though, Curtis landed one elbow. I believe it was an elbow. He landed an elbow, and he completely opened up Shamil very fucking bad. I'm hoping my editor can throw in a picture of the fight and, show the fucking cut, because that shit was fucking brutal. Curtis is a fucking animal. It's, I would love to see him fight Ngannou again for a third time, only because the first time it was a doctor's stoppage, The second time, he got caught and he got fucking knocked the fuck out. Ngannou won that shit fair and square, no fucking doubt about it. But I feel like they should fight a third time to make up for that first time, if that makes sense. That's the only thing I could see. I think Junior Dos Santos just got scheduled for a fight against Volkov, I believe. So I gotta look into the rankings and say that in another video who I think he should really fight. But yeah, it's interesting. You know what? I'm actually gonna look up the rankings right now, because Curtis deserves a big fight. Yeah, see, so I'm going down the rankings. It's Stipe, Cormier, Ngannou, Blades, Dos Santos, and Lewis, and Volkov. Those are the top 6 right there. They're all scheduled to fight except for Francis Ngannou and Cormier. But, Cormier just got knocked out, and I think he's going to take some time off. If Cormier fights Curtis Blades, that'd be a pretty fun fight, but I think if Cormier fights again, it'll be a rematch with Stipe, or a fight with John Jones. But if he fights with John Jones, it should be a heavyweight. That's another discussion for another video. But as for Curtis Blades, I think he should fight Ngannou one more fucking time. And if Ngannou, fucking completely demolishes him, then that discussion's over. They never have to fight again. But if Curtis wins, then they might have to fight a fourth time. But who knows? Shouts out to Curtis. He completely did his thing this fight and completely demolished Shamil. And I see him doing that shit 10 out of 10 times if he fights him again. But yeah, next fight I'd like to see him do would be against a rematch against Ngannou for the third time. All right. Next fight on the card was a lightweight bout between Islam Makhachev taking on Davi Ramos. I did not predict this one correct. I actually picked Davi Ramos to get the upset win. I thought this was going to be a lot more competitive of a fight than it was. I thought this would be the toughest matchup for Islam to date, and it did not seem that way. And Islam completely did anything he wanted this fight, and completely just controlled the fucking fight from beginning to end. Just did not give Davi Ramos any fucking room to breathe. And Davi Ramos did get some good shots off, but he was the one getting hit a lot more than he was the one connecting. The size difference, of course, like I said in my preview episode, it was significant with Islam with a 6-inch height advantage, but the reach was the exact same. So I thought Davi, if you don't know who Davi was or if you didn't see the fight, he's a fucking tank, and he fought at welterweight at one point. So I thought he would have the strength advantage, and he would be the one taking he would be the one with the most takedowns in the fight, but that was not the case. And Islam Makhachev just completely fucking obliterated him, and not obliterated. It was more of a grappling contest than not, but he dominated him. Let's say that he didn't obliterate, but he definitely dominated him. I did not see that happening. I did not see that coming, but he was a huge favorite, so obviously the bookies saw that shit coming. But yeah, so congrats to Islam Makhachev. Davi Ramos, I would love to see him fight again. Obviously, a step back in competition, just to, get back in winning contention, and then take a step up in competition after that and see where that goes. But all right, the next fight was the co-main event. It was the lightweight bout between Paul Felder taking on Edson Barboza. This was actually a rematch from 2014 or 15, I believe, where Barboza won by decision the first time, and this fight went to decision again, and this time Paul Felder won. It was a split decision. A lot of fans said that it was a robbery and that Edson should have clearly won, but the judges did not see it that way. And yeah, from what I saw, it was a very competitive fight, though. It in my opinion, it could have gone either way. Both fighters were pressuring, both fighters were throwing heavy shots, and both fighters were landing. Edson actually went for a fucking takedown, and he got a takedown. I couldn't believe that shit. I didn't think there would be takedowns in this fight, but if someone did go for a takedown, I thought it was gonna be Felder going and getting the fucking takedown, but that was not the case. Barboza got the takedown, and but the issue was when Barboza got the takedown and got on top, he was taking damage from Felder on the bottom. Felder was throwing fucking elbows from the bottom and just cutting him up. So it was a very hard fight to score, in that sense. So it could have gone either way. I personally could have seen it being a draw. I actually picked Paul Felder to win by decision or by knockout, but this fight could have easily been a draw in my opinion, and it probably should have been. It was really close to call. I don't see it being a robbery for either fighter. If either fighter won, I don't see it being a robbery. It was very close. Either fighter could have won. My opinion, I think it should have been a draw. But yeah, like I said, it was a fucking barn burner, and these motherfuckers just straight up kickboxer this shit. The movie Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme, motherfuckers just kicking each other back and forth, just like yeah, that's exactly how this fight was. That's exactly how the first fight was, and it was once again just like this, just like that. Besides that fucking takedown, that random ass takedown that Barboza had, besides that, it was pretty much very identical fights for the first one. But again, not a robbery. If Felder won, he won. If the judges gave it to Barboza, he won. I wouldn't be mad at either decision. But like I said, I think it should have been a draw after watching it. All right, moving on to it was the main event of the night. It was the lightweight championship bout between Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov taking on Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Khabib won this fight by submission in round 3, and I predicted that to happen. I said he was gonna win by decision or a submission or a TKO. But he was gonna win. Obviously, that's what I was trying to say. I thought it was gonna be I thought he was gonna get the finish, no matter what, because of the circumstances in this fight. He finally had his dad in his corner, and he doesn't want to let his dad down, and he does everything and anything that his dad says. So if his dad wants him to fucking stick to a goddamn game plan, he's gonna stick to a fucking game plan, and that's pretty much what he did, which was what he always does, what makes him so fucking great, which is take the opponent down, tire him out, overwhelm him, smother him on the ground, land heavy shots with the ground and pound, pretty much maul them, get them tired, and make them quit. That's his game plan time in and time out. In my preview and breakdown episode, I said if Dustin wins, it'll be by a fucking, it's a puncher's chance. He only has one way to win, and that would be by knockout. And there was one point in the fight where, like I said in my preview and breakdown episode, I said Khabib cannot fucking get full of himself and just start boxing and fucking and striking with Dustin Poirier, because it's shown that he's been caught before. And in this fight, in the second round, I believe, he was doing that. He was fucking boxing with him and started talking to him. And like 2 seconds after he was talking to him, Dustin did like a step over switch punch with his right, because Dustin's a southpaw. And he did like a switch, he stepped forward and did a switch punch with his right and completely fucking cracked Khabib's chin, like damn near right on the fucking tip of the chin. And that shit had Khabib wobbly and fucking, stumbling back and shit. And that shit fucking had me bugging out, bro. I thought, I don't know what the fuck was about to happen, but that shit had me bugging out. I was about to have a fucking heart attack, and I thought Khabib was, gonna wobble all the way up against the fence, and then Dustin was just gonna start teeing off. But time and time again, Khabib shows why he's one of the best in the company, and he has one of the best composures in the game. I don't know if I said that right, one of the best composures. I don't know, you know what the fuck I mean though. He composed himself, and he regained his senses and got the takedown right after. And even when he got the takedown, I can't remember right now if it was in the second round or the third round where he got the takedown and Dustin locked in a guillotine. And the guillotine it looked tight at one point. Dustin couldn't get his fucking legs around Khabib to really secure it, but it really looked like from the position he was at that the guillotine was very tight, and I didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen. In that position, it's definitely hard to finish a guillotine in that position, but if anyone could do it, it would have been Dustin Poirier. Well, I can't even say that, but Dustin Poirier's ground game is very good. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so if he did finish it in that position, I wouldn't be surprised. But seeing the position he didn't have his legs over. I just felt like he was just tiring his arms out at that point, and that's what it seemed like. Once Khabib got his head out of the position, got on top, started beating him up, and then Dustin turned his back. Khabib got on his back and was trying to lock in the rear naked choke. Dustin was fighting the hands pretty good for a decent amount of time until Khabib fucking hit him once. Got Dustin's head up just for a split second, and in that split second, Khabib locked in the fucking rear naked choke and got the finish in round 3. And if you saw the fight when Dustin got choked out, if you see his face the moment the fucking lock really got sunk in, you knew it was fucking over. If he wasn't gonna tap right there, he was gonna go to sleep in a matter of seconds. But he tapped out, and that was that. But yeah, in the end of the fight, after the fight was over, everyone's Bruce is about to call out the decision and everything. Khabib and Dustin switched shirts, and Khabib told Dustin, he walked up to him and told him, he said, I'm going to put this shirt on auction, and however much it sells for, he's going to give Dustin the money, because Dustin has his own charity where he works with other countries, other world countries, and just tries to help them out as much as he can. And Khabib said that he was gonna put the shirt up for auction and give him every single dime, every single cent that shirt made, and that's what he did. From what I heard, it got a lot of money, and yeah, so. But yeah, I just thought that was like insanely fucking humble from Khabib, and I wouldn't expect anything less. Khabib is just one of those motherfuckers who's just as real as it gets, and fighting, this whole fighting thing is his life. He takes this shit serious. All that, trash talking shit before the fight, he's not about that shit. He'll trash talk in the fucking fight. He'll do some trash talking outside of the fight, but it's never insanely disrespectful. Where he's talking about family and shit like that. We all know who I'm fucking talking about when I say all that shit. But yeah, it was just amazing to see something like that happen, and it just it shows that these fighters aren't just complete animals that just go in a cage and fight. There's more to it, and it showed there, and it was very fucking awesome to see. But yeah, moving on from the fight. Obviously, well, we'll start with Dustin. In the post-fight interview, it kind of seemed like he was thinking about retirement. He didn't say the word retirement or anything like that, but he was, it sounds like he's contemplating it, and he has a lot of miles on him. He has a lot of miles on his body when it comes to fighting, and if that's the case, and that's why he's thinking about retiring. To be with his family and everything like that, then that's one thing. But if he's like thinking about that just off of emotion, just because he just lost the title fight, his first title fight, he was the interim champ, but this was his first actual title fight, and he lost. If he's talking, thinking about retirement off of just emotion, just because of this loss, I don't think that's a good idea. I think he has a lot of fight left in him. And, he always puts on great fights. He was on a, pretty big winning streak before this fight. So, I don't think it would be a good idea for him to stop and retire. Like I said, unless it's for personal reasons, that's another thing. But if it's just out of emotion, I don't think he should do that. He should fight again. And, he posted after the fight that he thinks him and Conor should run it back. And I think that would be a good idea at 155, of course. And of course, fucking dick douche McGregor fucking post some like asshole shit, of course, just fucking talking shit like, oh, I knocked you out in 90 seconds, blah blah blah, just talking shit. So I don't think that's gonna happen, but it would be a good fight. Other than that, I don't know who he would fight next, but he should definitely keep fighting. He's been one of my favorite fighters since I don't know if any of you guys seen that Netflix documentary called Fightville or Fightland or something, but Poirier was one of the main guys on the show, and this was showing him, just starting his MMA career fresh, and it was cool as fuck to see, and seeing him from there to now, fighting for the title, being an interim champ at one point, it's fucking awesome. It's awesome. I don't know if they have the documentary still on Netflix, but if you can find it anywhere, watch that shit. It is so cool to see, him there at that point and where he is now in the UFC. But yeah, as for Khabib though, obviously there's only one fucking fight to make, and that's against Tony Ferguson. I don't want to see any other fucking fight between Khabib unless it's against Tony Ferguson. Any real MMA fan will tell you that that's the fight that needs to fucking happen. And if it doesn't fucking happen next, I have no fucking faith that this fight's ever gonna fucking happen. Because if it don't fucking happen, that's fucking ridiculous and it's fucking bullshit. It has to fucking happen. Make it fucking happen. And let's fucking move on. Like, come on. If it don't fucking happen, like, what the fuck? What the fuck has to happen for that fight to take fucking place? Tony is the number one contender, rightfully so. This fight has never happened. It was scheduled multiple times, and due to unforeseen circumstances and unfortunate events, it got canceled over and over. This is the time to make it. Fucking do that shit. But alright, so that's that. This was the review episode for UFC 242. It is 5:50 on September 14th right now, and Justin Gaethje versus Donald Cerrone, that card is happening tonight in a couple hours at 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna wrap this up, go upstairs, enjoy a nice cold beverage, and enjoy some good fights. But yeah, this was Nahh B Podcast. I am your host, Sani Nahh B. Hope you guys enjoyed. And this Wednesday, September 18th, I will be interviewing former UFC middleweight and Ultimate Fighter Season 19 winner, Eddie Truck Gordon. He will join me via Skype, and we're going to chop it up for a dope segment, and hopefully I'll have that interview posted shortly after. But yeah, again, this is Nahh B Podcast. I am your host, Sani Nahh B, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.